Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Friday, September the 27th, 2024, and this is Flosstube number, I always forget the number, 91, I think. I think it's 91. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all the cross stitch, and I just started playing a Monopoly game, so more on that later, but people have been joining in and playing along at home. And it's been a lot of fun seeing people tag me on Instagram with their stuff and what they're doing with it. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back. Thanks so much for dealing with all my plans and listening to all my craziness. And if you know the game that I'm talking about and have no idea what I'm talking about regarding playing along, I will explain that later. We have a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a long one, so if you want to get some stitching done, grab a whip, get to stitching, get some popcorn. It's going to be like, I feel in my heart of hearts that this is going to be like epically long for a Flosstube, for a week-long Flosstube, not even like a month in, like a week, like I just filmed a week ago. And this is going to be a really long video. I know it. Because I have a lot to show. We have a lot to talk about. Real quick, if you, oh, you hear that? You know who that is? You know who that is? Gracie! Say hi, Gracie. Hey, hello. She's like, what is happening? Oh, there's Gracie. Mr. Whiskers might make an appearance in a bit. I don't know where he is. So Hurricane Helene hit Florida yesterday. I live in Florida, for those who don't know, if you're just watching me for the first time. I live in Florida. I live in West Central Florida in the Tampa Bay area. We did not get a direct hit. It hit up in the kind of like the Big Bend area, like say this is Florida, right? This is the Panhandle. United States is up here. My face is the Gulf of Mexico. I live here. And this is like Daytona Beach and stuff. I live here. The hurricane hit up here. But this thing was so monstrously big. The eye of the hurricane was 100 miles offshore. And we still were getting like the edges of the hurricane, like with the wind and the rain. But the damage wasn't caused from that. The damage was caused from storm surge. The hurricane caused, like, I think the lowest storm surge was maybe about 8 to 10 feet, which is the size of a single-story house. And in some areas it was close to 20 feet of storm surge. So there was a lot of areas up and down the coast that were like demolished just from storm surge, not even from the wind. My house is fine. I'm pretty far inland compared to where the storm surge was. So I didn't have to evacuate or anything. I had a few shingles blown off of my roof, so I have to put a work order in for that because I don't own the house, I rent it. So, but we did not get any flooding in our neighborhood. And everybody in my personal life, like my coworkers and my family, like my parents and my cousins that, you know, I have family that lives up in the Panhandle, and my family that lives down here, everybody's okay. So, yeah. Okay. We have a lot to discuss. So last week, before I show you my board, last week I had my weekly pulls, I had my temperature stitching to catch up on, and I had my Monopoly game, right? And I had temperature stitching from the previous week I still had to catch up on. So there was a lot of stitching that I had to do, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. But because of the hurricane, I was off work yesterday. So I had extra stitching time. So I did catch up on it. I got all my stitching done. So it was a total of 4 weekly pulls from my baskets, 4 focus pieces. So that was 8 of my weekly whips to work on. My temperature pieces, I had a total of 7 I needed to work on. I'll explain the temperature stitching later if you're new. And then my Monopoly game, again, explain later. My Monopoly game, because one of the pieces like got doubles and landed on chance and then like rolled again, pass go and all that stuff. So I had a total of 8 whips to work on for my Monopoly game as well. Worked on everything. The only one that had a really low stitch count for my weekly stitching was my new start. That's not technically a new start anymore, but there was a reason for that, and I will tell you, a good reason, and I will tell you when we get to it. But I put all the whips on the board so I could get a better idea of what I had to work on. And all the blue is the stitches that needed to be done for it. And the red is how many stitches I did do on it. So I have, if you can do quick math, 8, 8, 7. I've got 23 projects to show. I worked on 23 projects since last Thursday. 23 projects in 1 week. What is wrong with me? Whew. Okay, so let's get into the whip. So we're going to talk about what I stitched on. We are going to update my boards. We are going to pull new weekly projects. Find out who the Whip of Shame winner is, because that's happening now. So you'll find out who the Whip of Shame winner is. I will, then I'm going to break, play around a Monopoly, and come back and show you the Monopoly whips, the whips for my weekly pulls, and the temperature pieces that will be worked on in the coming week. All right, first up, like I said, I got a lot to talk about. I'm estimating this is going to be over 2 hours or pretty close to 2 hours. So I ate dinner before I started filming. Okay, first up is my Whip of Shame for the month of September. It's Goodnight Bears from Jan Lynn, Designs for the Needle. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. My Whip of Shame, for those who are just watching me for the first time, I have 15 projects that are over 10 years old. Some are from the 1900s because I'm that old. And so I'm calling them my Whips of Shame because it's shameful that they're still around. And halfway through the month, I will pull 2 contenders to battle it out for 2 weeks, and you guys vote on who you want to be the winner, and the winner will be the Whip of Shame for the next month. So when I go over my plans, I will show you who the winner is for the Whip of Shame for the month of October. But this was September, and my goal for the Whip of Shame is to get 100 stitches a day for however many days are in that month. Turns out sometimes it's over 100 because what I decided that I wanted to do was to get the goal done before my final Flosstube of the month. So today's the 27th, so technically I still had the 28th, 29th, and 30th to work on this thing. But I went ahead and got the goal done. So there we are now. And my before picture is what it was at the beginning of the month. I should have said that when I while I was running my mouth. So I did, where is it? I did 959 stitches this week on it. I needed, to complete the goal, I needed 933. I did 959 so I could finish the thread that I had. I'm not worrying about this one. This is like, that's for the future. But I got his head completed with the stitching. I got this part of his outfit stitched, and I started working on this week. And then I started working on his sleeve over here. So if this thing wins the Whip of Shame again, I will continue on this side of the page, but maybe next time this is the winner. I don't know, I might change my mind by then, but maybe I'll kind of work on the background. I don't know. But yeah. So for the month, I now have, hang on, where is it? I put in for the month, I put in 3,026 stitches on this thing, and it was all in this little bear and the shelf it's sitting on. But yeah, I'm happy with that. So this goal is done. So I could technically start on my new Whip of Shame tonight. But yeah, I'm happy with that. And I will say, somebody had asked me before, well, why don't you just keep it out until you finish it and just keep working on it until it's done? There's a reason why it's a Whip of Shame, because I get sick of it. I'm ready to put this thing away. I don't want to see it again for a while. Okay, next up is my new start that, nope. This one, oh yeah, no, okay. This one is my non-full coverage for the week. I was trying to think of what, because I put these all in a specific order to show them, and I thought I had them in a different order. Okay, so the next one is my non-full coverage for the week, and this is the Mill Hill Buttons and Beads Spring Series Sugar Cookie House. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And my non-full coverage pieces in my active rotation right now have a goal of 5,000 stitches. So once they hit the goal of 5,000 stitches, I just started doing this last month, so my boards are still pretty lame looking with the stitch counts, because I just started doing this in August. But once this thing hits 5,000 stitches, I will put this away and replace it with something else. But this is where I'm at with it now. I put 500 stitches on this. So I got down to the bottom. So this is the very bottom of the piece, and I'm using everything that came in the kit, including the perforated paper. And look, I got a little peep going right there. Isn't it adorable? They're so cute. And there's gonna be another peep over here. You can see the outline of it right there. But yeah, isn't that cute? It's adorbs. And I was debating on if I was gonna, because they recommend that you save the beading until the end. Of course they do. But I've seen some people stitch these and they do the beading while they're doing the cross stitching. And I was debating on doing that, but I have not separated the beads out. So they are still all mixed up in their little baggies. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just do the cross stitching, and then I'll take a bag of beads, figure out which colors they are, and I'll probably just do it bag by bag when I get to that part. Okay, next up is my full coverage pull for the week. And this is Springtime Splendor from, hang on, I dropped something. Hey, Mr. Whiskers, come here. He's in the hallway. Come here, my boy. He might come over soon. Maybe. So next up is Springtime Splendor from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Randall Spangler. And it is, I got the max color version. And it is 450 by 758, and it has 236 colors. I could flip this so you could see it a little bit bigger, but I have my screen locked so it doesn't tilt all over the place on me, so we'll just do that. But that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. And I'm doing this 2/1 half cross, he's getting closer. 2/1 half cross on a 25 count, easy count Lugana. I do not have, come here. Come here. Oh, here he comes. Oh. Oh. He's so heavy. Say hello, Mr. Whiskers. Hello. For those of you who don't like cats, not even sorry I show mine in every video. Because the ones who do love cats, they get very upset when they don't make an appearance. Isn't he precious? Listen, this joker right here, so you know how they get their, right? Their lickable treats. They get one every night. Well, I get it auto shipped on Amazon because it's cheaper that way. And it was supposed to arrive yesterday. Guess what didn't arrive yesterday because of the hurricane? And guess who ran out and didn't have any to give them? Oh, he was big mad. He was sitting in his chair, the one I'm sitting in. He was sitting in his chair with his butt facing me, and he was just looking over his shoulder at me with like that resting bitch face look, like, you failed as a fur mom. He's such a punk. He's so spoiled. Like he really needs it, you know. It's not like he's wasting away. But anyway, back to the stitching. Okay, so doing it 2/1 half cross on a 25 count easy count Lugana, the Springtime Splendor. I do not have a before picture. I'll show you the rest of it, but I don't have a before picture because my diagonals, I counted up. It was only 27 blocks because I'm doing an easy count. So it was only 27 blocks I had to count up. So really from the side that I had already been working on. And so I counted up to the top right corner and started working in the diagonal. And that's what I did. So this I put in 465 stitches on it. And so you can kind of start seeing I like the dark blues and stuff. But look at all those freaking threads. Like, my God. But I now have a total of 16,084 stitches done. So I have more down at the bottom. Out of 340,805, and I'm at 4.72%. See, so I had started in the middle. I have nothing on this side, so let me try doing it like this. So I started in the middle and I was working on the house, right? And then at some point last year, I think it was, I had worked my way over to the edge. Like I kind of was working here. Can't see. So I kind of worked my way over to here and I was like filling this in, and then I decided to work my way over to the edge and I was working on that and I had all that parking. And then I was like, well, let me get some of these park threads worked in. So I was doing that. And then when I pulled this out to work on it, I was like, oh, I want to go up to the corner and start doing diagonals. So I'm going to keep doing the diagonals. I'm going to leave all these park threads here. And then as I get down here, which will be forever. But as I get down here, unless I change my mind again in the future, which, I might. But as I get down here with the diagonals, then I'll start working these threads in. But, so 4.72% on Springtime Splendor. I know some people will like pull all their projects out and like not have them in the bags or have them unzipped. I got 23 projects. I would show a lot of stuff on my channel. And if I tried having everything unzipped, everything would fall out and I would have a huge mess on my hands. So we ain't doing that. And the zippers, honestly, my opinion, they're really not that bad. I listen to my phone, which is how I watch Flosstube, with my hearing aids. So it's like going in my ears. And I barely even notice other people's zippers, so I'm like, whatever. Okay, next up is my work on till it's finished. This is a pile of projects that I have. I think it's about 15 that I just kind of keep rotating through, and I'll put stitches in on one of them every week until it is done. The one that I worked on this week was the Gingerbread Smalls 2022 series from Twin Peak Primitives, and the one I pulled was the train. I have that one started, I have that one started, and I have that one started right in the middle. For some reason, they all need the same amount of work, and I chose to have this one and this one in my work until it's finished, but not that one. I'm not really sure why, but you know, it's whatever. The other ones are still waiting to be started. So for the train, I'm doing them all in the same fabric, and I'll cut it all apart once I'm done, but they're being stitched with a call for DMC on a 2/2 full cross on a 28 count even weave in the color Cornflower by Fiber on a Whim. And I got 410 stitches on this. So that middle car, I said I was going to go over here and work on this one. I changed my mind when I pulled it out. But I did get the middle car done. The middle car is completely done. And then I decided to come over to the engine and start working on that. So that's where I'm at with that one. Super cute. I really like it. Very cute. All right. I was just thinking about how long my end of year whip parade is going to be. It's going to be so ridiculously long. I don't think it's going to be as long as last year's though, because last year I showed both my whips and this stuff I was going to be starting. And this year I'll just do my whips, like anything, even if I haven't worked on it this year, I'm still going to show it because it's been started, but I'm not going to show the stuff I could potentially start. But I don't think it'll be 10 hours this year. I think it'll probably be like maybe 5 or 6 hours. I'm not sure. Oh, I should probably show you the pattern first. I was going to show you the whip. All right, so next up is my new start that's not technically a new start anymore. So I have a lot of projects to be started. I decided to have 5. Like every week I was pulling a new start, and then once I hit 5, I just rotate through those 5 until they hit 3,000 stitches, and then they'll get put on vacation in my closet, and I'll replace it with another new start. So the one I worked on this week was from Shannon Christine Designs, and it's Come In for a Spell. I'm going to do both of them, but that's the one I pulled. And I got these two together as a kit from Pain Free Crafts. And so in the kit, it came with the 2 patterns. It came with 2 pieces of Easy Count Ada and the floss. So this is where I'm at with it now. This is the one that I only have a few hundred stitches on. I have 231 stitches on this thing. And the only reason I have such few stitches on it is because all of the DMC cross stitching is done. All that's left now is beads and metallic. And I don't know if I'm going to do it this weekend, or I don't know when I'm going to do it, but someone did ask if I would do a video when I did this. I'm going to wash this fabric to get the grid lines out, because I don't really want to wash it when I have metallic and beads in. I don't really want to wash it with beads in, and I don't know what would happen to the metallic if I washed it. So I want to wash it while I have the DMC only, and then I will keep working on it with the metallic and the beads. And I have a feeling that, unless I'm completely misjudging how many stitches are in this thing, I have a feeling that because all my new starts in the rotation have the 3,000 stitch goal, and I have a feeling that that is going to end up being a finish before it hits its 3,000 stitch goal. Okay, next up, we are on to my focus pieces. So the first focus piece is the one I'm doing for my son, my very meaningful foul mouth piece. It's from Stitchman Darcy, and it's called Yippee-Ki-Yay Motherfucker. It is $191 by $79. That is what it's gonna look like when it's done. And this is the one that my teenager saw it last year when we were watching, no, not last year, the year, yeah, last year. He was watching Flosstube with me. Who does that? Whose teenager sits there and watches Flosstube with her mother? And we were watching Stitchman Darcy, and it was when Darcy first made the pattern, or when he finished it or something. And my son saw it and he loved it because he loves Die Hard. And so he asked me to get it for him and stitch it for him. Of course I'm going to. Of course I'm going to. So, I did a combination. I did 482 stitches on this thing. That's where I'm at with it now. It's a combination of cross stitching and back stitching. So now it still just says P yay fucker, but now everything is outlined so you can see it better. Now you can really see it. So my numbers, my percentage completed and my numbers stitched are a little skewed because I have this in Pattern Keeper and it doesn't count back stitching for the stitches to be completed or your percentage. But for the cross stitching part, not including the back stitching, I have 2,441 stitches done out of 6,661, and I am at 36.65% complete with the cross stitching. So what I've been doing is, so what I mainly focused on this week was finishing the white in the E. I got all 4 of these letter blocks backstitched. I extended this black out, this black border out right here, and I did the leaves and little berries right there, and did a bit more of this border right here. So, I think what I'll do this coming week is, I think I'll probably try to work more on the border, because the border goes all the way around. So I might try to work on more of the border and like going up maybe, and then doing some more of the, snowflakes. See what I mean? So I might try to maybe work on the border and maybe work on the snowflakes. Try to get this half of the pattern done. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I pull it out. Where's my bag? Here it is. So, I bet he's very excited for me to finish. He was like, do you think it'll be done for Christmas? Because he wants to like put it up on his wall or something. I was like, I don't know, but you don't have to only put it up at Christmas. You can put it up anytime. Anytime. So, okay, next up is my Heaven and Earth South. I keep rolling my eyes because I'm so sick of this piece. I'm still at the point where I'm stitching this out of spite. Like, this thing is not going to beat me. It's not. This is a closed stitch along from Heaven and Earth Designs. We had 10 patterns to pick from. I picked Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2 by Amy Stewart. It is 300 by 205. It has 90 colors. It's a crop of the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. quarter 4 got released today. So before I filmed, I went ahead and exported my quarter 3 progress, uploaded quarter 4, like the whole, because quarter 4 is like basically it's the whole thing now, right? Uploaded the quarter 4 and imported quarter 3, like my current progress into the final release. So now I can give you accurate numbers. I'm still working in the diagonal. I'm doing it 2/1 half cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And I did 1,658 stitches on this thing. I got another diagonal completed and started in on another one. That is where I'm at with it now. So I got more over there. So now, and so with the quarter 4 release, this has been released now, but I'll talk about that in a second. So as of right now, I have 46,212 stitches done out of 61,500, and I am at 75.14% complete with the entire thing. So my percentage, it was like 78%, but then when I had to add in the total, like when I loaded my progress into the total released pattern, it dropped down to 75.14%. But I am 3/4 of the way done with this thing, which makes me very happy. But the final release was basically, I think it started right here, this strip right here. And it's, how many rows? 10, 11, 15 rows down here. Yeah, 15 rows of stitches below this right here. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to go back in and work this in right here until I get to where this diagonal is, and then I'll go back to doing my diagonals. And I mathed it out, and if I did, because I have to make myself work on this a little bit every day, because when I was doing every week, I was falling behind. I wasn't doing the stitches I wanted to do to stay caught up on it. Because I want to, if I finish this by the end of the year, I get all the charts that were made available for the SAL, and I get 2 charts off of the Haid website of my choice. So I want to get this thing done because I want the free stuff. And again, this thing will not beat me. I will get this thing done whether I want to or not. My younger son, was it my younger one or my older one, really liked it. And so I'm probably going to like frame it or something and let one of them hang it up in their room because they both liked it. I don't know which one though. I might let my younger son have it because I have a few pieces for my older son that he's like, will you do this for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, and it's going to take a while and everything, but my little one doesn't really have that much. So I might let him have this. But I also decided that my 2 free patterns that I will get at the end of the year, because I will get this stupid thing done, I decided that my 2 free patterns, I let them pick. I kind of took a page from Siski because she's got full coverages for her kids, and also Stitching Mommy has full coverages for her kids. And I kind of took a page from them, and I let them each pick out patterns that they liked. They might change their minds by the end of the year. So I'll wait to show which ones that they chose. But here's where I was a little sneaky about it, right? I offered the patterns to them. I said, you guys can each pick one out. And you know the Haid website, you know Heaven and Earth, how it is. Like, you know, so many things to pick from. And I was a little sneaky in the fact that I started with artists that I like to stitch. So I was like showing them, like I was scrolling through all the artists. I was like, let me think of some people that I think you might like their work. And so I started with like Jan Patrick Kresny and Randall Spangler and Jacek Jurka. And I knew that Amy Stewart's pieces weren't really going to be like their thing, so, but I was showing them artists that I liked before I showed them other stuff. Because if I'm going to stitch this big full coverage for someone, I want to make sure I like it. Like, I enjoy stitching. I don't want to be like, oh my God, I hate working on this thing, So let me go ahead and show you. So my older son, as of right now, I don't remember the name of it, so I'll probably have to add it in a text on the screen. But he picked, I don't know, it started with a B, like Basketh or something, by Jacek Jurka. And Jacek Jurka? Jacek? I think it's Jacek Jurka. I can't remember how to say it. And then that was my older son's. And then my younger son, my 11-year-old, he picked Afternoon Tea by Randall Spangler. I was showing him, I was going through a few, and then I know he likes like dragons and like cartoony stuff, so I was showing him some of the dragling pieces that Randall Spangler has, and he was loving it because he loves reading, and Randall Spangler has a lot of those book pieces. But the other thing that he really loves, my kid is so weird in a good way. I mean, I say that with love. He likes making hot tea. He's like 11. And he's like, can I make myself a cup of tea? Sure, why not? I don't know where he got the hot tea love from, because nobody I know in our family, except for my stepsister, likes hot tea. And we don't really hang out with her. So it's not like he's like with her and she has it, so he has it. Like, I don't know. But he likes hot tea. And so when he saw the one making the tea, he was like, I want that one. I like that one. Okay. So those are the two patterns that I will choose unless they change their minds. Those are the two patterns that I'm going to pick for my free patterns. Okay, moving on with whips. Next up is my final focus piece, and this is Honeymoon Sunset from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. And it is, I still don't know the dimensions of this. How sad is that? 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I love it so much. God, I love this piece. So I had, at the beginning of the year, I had a goal to do 25,000 stitches on it. I hit that goal in July, only 1 month behind schedule. I wanted to do it by June. And I found a method of working on it that I really loved, and I was getting a lot of comments from people saying, oh, please don't put that away, because my original plan was to put it away for a while until next year. I was getting comments, please don't put it away. I love that piece so much. And once I started working on it in the diagonal, I really loved working on it again. So I made myself a new goal to hit 45% by the end of next year, by the end of 2025. When I made that goal, I needed like 59,000 stitches, like 59,700 or something like that. I don't remember how many it was now. So I'm just keeping it out and plugging away at it week after week. Once my other focus pieces are done, the Sal and Yippee-Ki-Yay, I'll be able to kind of focus a little bit more on this. But I put in, let me see, hold on. I think this is the same diagonal, yeah. I couldn't remember if I had already started this or not. But I put in 600 stitches on this. I'll show the rest of it in a minute. But this is where I'm at with it now. And I hit another milestone. So what was it? Was it last week or the week before? Last week, I think. I hit the milestone of 35%, I believe. Maybe it was the week before. I don't remember now which week it was. And this week, I hit the milestone of 200,000 stitches. So I am now at, hang on. A little noisy because I gotta scoot my chair back so I can show the whole thing. I'm doing it 2/1 half cross on a 25 count easy count Lugana. Here's the whole thing. Hang on, I can't see. I'll come in closer in a second. There's the whole thing with all my park threads. I am now at 200,000. Let's say it again. 200,208 stitches done out of 563,981, and I am at 35.50%. How exciting is that? This is, I know there's some people that have like finished a lot of full coverages, so it's like, oh, okay. But that's a lot for me. I don't have any other giant full coverage that's this far along. So here's a better view of my diagonal. So once I get this diagonal done, I'm going to move down here to the next diagonal. And when I hit the next diagonal, as you can see, I've been working on this for a couple years. I've been working all over the place. I'm not really going to go into all that again because I feel like I go over it every week. So if you watch me every week, you're like, oh my God, this again. But when I get the next diagonal, I'm going to start barely hitting the gazebo that I am almost done with. Because it's I do 20 stitch wide diagonals. So it'll be like right here. I'll hit like the corner, maybe the little lip of the roof right here. That'll be in the next diagonal. And I do not think, because it'll be basically like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna hit the lighthouse yet. I was trying to see if I would hit the lighthouse with the next. Oh wait, hold on. I don't think I'm gonna hit the lighthouse. I think it's gonna end right there at the corner. I might get a couple stitches into the roof of the lighthouse, but that's it. But yeah, I've worked all across the top here. Here's the tree from hell. That looks really good. I hate palm trees so much. And then there's the middle with the sailboat coming in. And the bottom over here. This is where the piece is going to end because I'm doing my diagonals top right to bottom left. So this is where the piece will end. So that'll be exciting. So I won't have to go all the way to the corner. And then this is the bottom right corner. So once my diagonals that I'm doing up here, sorry, oh my God. Once my diagonals up here, because I'm kind of working them like this, right? So once I get down here, like I won't have to obviously go down to the bottom because that's all stitched. But once the diagonals hit here, they're going to be at the longest that they're going to be on the pattern. The stitch counts for each diagonal are going to be a lot different because that's my shirt. We're on Coffee, Chaos, and Cuss Words. The stitch counts will be different with each diagonal because obviously like some of them are going to have a lot more because there's no stitches in the middle for them. But like these ones won't have as much stitching to do. The ones that run through here won't have as much, or the, you know what I mean? So, but once I hit that bottom corner there, that's as long as those diagonals will be until the diagonal on the pattern hits this corner, and then they will slowly start shrinking down smaller and smaller. So there's that. Okay, so those were my weekly pulls. But wait, there's more. Now we're going to move on to my temperature stitching. Okay, so if you don't know my temperature stitching, I decided a few weeks ago, I wanted to do, got it from Siski. I wanted to do something where I got some extra love on some whips that are not in my rotation. So I decided that I was going to do, I assigned 10 projects to the numbers 0 through 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I look at the forecast and I take the last digit of the temperature. So if it's 89 degrees, I take the 9. Whatever whip is assigned to the number 9 gets 100 stitches. When I started doing this, I was doing the high and the low, so I could get extra stitches, of course. But with all the focus pieces I have going on too, the high and the low is a little bit too much. So I dropped it down to the high only. And I was a little behind because I was still trying to catch up on a few different things. So I was like playing catch up with my stitching, but I got it all caught up this week. So I am starting fresh with the temperatures. Okay, so the temperature that was assigned to the number 0 was Twisted Band Sampler, is Twisted Band Sampler. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. The temperature ended in 0 one time. I'm just going to say one time this week because there's a few, like 2 pieces I had to play catch up on. I don't remember exactly what was what when, so I'm just going to say this week, even though some of the stuff was from last week. So 0 came up on the temperatures one time, so this got another 100 stitches. And this is where I'm at so far with it. So I'm almost done with this band. So close. But I'm not going over the 100 because like I'm not tracking it like I am on my other boards. I'm just writing 100, and when I hit 100, I cross it out so I know where, so I know how much to put on my spreadsheet. But I did 100 stitches on this, and so I am now at 920 stitches done out of 21,989. I am at 4.18%. And I'm doing they have a specialty stitch version and a regular cross stitch version. I am doing the cross stitch one. So once that little band is done, I will be, hang on, so you don't have to stare at my face while I'm looking down. Once that band is done, which is going to be like 10 stitches, I will move on to that butterfly band. So that'll be fun. Yeah. All right. So there's that one. The whip that was assigned to the number 1, that was 0, yeah. Whip that was assigned to number 1 is Merry Christmas, and this is a kit from Artiste. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I really love it. And again, if you have not seen me before, if you have this kit or you get this kit, pay attention to your legend, because that filled in hourglass is actually on here twice. And this color, ignore this part, I didn't mean to do that. This color here should be that right there. Luckily, I started in the middle and I was working on that Christmas tree. And when I got to, I couldn't find, wait, what was it? How did I figure this out? No, the middle was the H, right? And so I was doing this, and some of this was green because it was the filled in hourglass, and that one caught my eye because there's a space under it. And so I just did that, right? I wasn't really paying attention to the cover photo. I didn't realize that that ball was supposed to be all red. And I get over here to the Christmas tree and the correct symbol was in that dark green at the bottom. I was like, wait, I can't find this symbol anywhere. And then once I started like kind of comparing, going back and forth, I was like, oh my God. So I got everything fixed and I had to mark that on there so I don't mess myself up. I probably helped if I actually showed you the piece, right? I just realized I almost put this thing away. So the temperature came up twice. So I did 200 stitches on this. And I'm just doing whatever came in the kit. The sky, FYI, because it's like dusk, like sunset. It looks so pretty. It's like pink and purple right now. It's so pretty. What I can see out my window. Okay, so I did 200 stitches on this. I got all the cross stitching done in the S. And I got the back stitching and the French knots done. Some of them look really, really bad, but I don't care. You can't really see them on the camera, but I can see them in person on the, there's French knots on the dark red. You guys can't really see them on camera, but I don't care. You can see them in person. And some of them look bad, but again, I don't care. And I started in on cross stitching, but you see what I mean? I was saying last week, I said it's gonna be really cute because they're like jingle bells, and you see what I'm talking about now? So when this gets called again, I will continue on the back stitching for the S, and then my next move will be to go over to the T. What is the T? Is that the snowman? Hang on. Yeah. The T will be the snowman in Christmas, so I'll do that after I get the back stitching done on the S. Okay. Oh my God, I'm trying to put it all back in here. I'm riding the struggle bus. So yeah, 200 stitches on that. Hang on, sorry. It's like I'm trying to, the pattern and the cover photo like barely fit in here as long as there's nothing underneath them. And it's like when you get the fabric or the little floss card like tucked underneath it, you can't quite zip it properly. Okay, the project that was assigned to the number 3, temperature 3, was sampler 124 by 2x2 stitch art, and I did have some stitching to catch up on this piece. So this one has a lot more stitches than it technically should have for the week. And I saw somebody on Instagram had started, she tagged me in it saying that she saw me stitching it and she really liked it, so she started stitching it. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Again, this is sampler 124 from 2x2 stitch art. And I'm doing this, I think it's a 16 count white opalescent Aida. And I am doing it in kind of a little bit of a color variation that I did myself. So this got 500 stitches because I had like a couple hundred to do for this week, like maybe 100 to do for this week. Or maybe it was all catch up. I really don't remember now. I had 100 to do for this week, but I had 400 that I was catching up on from last week, and I got it all done. And this is where I'm at with it. So this is a monochrome piece, but I decided not to do that. So I'm doing the block borders in $37.99. And then I have 3 colors. I have pink, which is $38.05, purple, which is $38.35, and blue, which is $37.50. And then what I did was I have this in Pattern Keeper. And what I did was I put diagonals in on Pattern Keeper that are 20 stitches wide. I did 2 strands of pink, and I'm doing it full cross. 2 strands of pink, The next diagonal I did a strand of pink and strand of purple. The next diagonal I did 2 strands of purple. The next one 1 strand of purple, 1 strand of blue. Next one was 2 strands of blue. Next one was a strand of blue, a strand of pink. Next one, oh, I'm not going over far enough. It's like, it's all right here. No, 2 strands of blue, and then a strand of blue, a strand of pink, and then 2 strands of pink, and I'm just gonna keep going like that across the entire piece. So I did 500 stitches on this, and I am now at 4,810 stitches done out of 39,038, and I am at 12.32%. And I think the pattern's gonna end like maybe right there. Thereabouts. About right there. So, there's that. I was so happy when I finally got this caught up because I really like this piece, but I was getting frustrated because like I was falling behind with how much I had to do on it, and I was getting irritated at the fact that I had not stayed on top of it. So I'm finally caught up with it, so I'm super happy. Okay, the temperature, the one that was, the project assigned to the temperature that ends in 4 is Sea Turtle from Stitching Jewels Design. No, hold on. I have them numbered like this, but that's not how they were supposed to be. Wait a minute. Is it here? Where is it? Oh, it's right here. 0, 1, 2. That was right. Okay, let's back up a second. Twisted Band Sampler was assigned to the number 0. Merry Christmas was assigned to the number 1. Sampler 124 was assigned to the number 2. Okay, my apologies. Okay, temperatures 3 and 4 did not come up this week, so they didn't get worked on. Number 5 is Sea Turtle. I was like, man, I feel like something's off. Number 5 is Sea Turtle, and this is from Stitching Jewels Design. It's a monochrome piece, and I am doing it in the monochrome. And it is 270 by 150. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using 310, and I'm doing it 2 strands full cross on an 18 count Aida in the color Coastal by Picture This Plus. And it got 100 stitches. I'm just going to hold it up like this. The right way though, not upside down. It got 100 stitches on it, and I'm still focusing on the front flipper. So I came up more this way. And if you did not see my video last week, I had noticed, maybe I do need my board. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so if you didn't see my video last week, I did not realize until, because I came down the front, right? I was just doing the front edge of the flipper all the way down to the bottom, and then I was like, okay, I'll just work my whole way up the front of the flipper. And when I was about here, coming back up the flipper, I realized that over here, I accidentally added too many stitches. I repeated like this tiny little section twice, like I did it twice instead of just once. In this tiny little section right here, that should be up, like so. And I was not about to pull all that out to fix it. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up this side because this is all correct, and I will work my way back down, and I will fudge this section right here where I need to make it look natural. I figured instead of trying to fudge my way all the way up, I'll find where I fudged this part right here so I could get back on track with where it lines up, work my way up, and then I'm going to work my way all the way back down, and I'll just have to fudge like this little section right here instead of trying to make the whole flipper work. But I did 100 stitches on it, and I am now at 2,801 stitches done out of 8,334, and I am at 33.61%. It's pretty accurate with the color too, I guess. Yeah. It's always so hard showing fabric color on camera, because it's like when you get close enough to like show the stitching, it like really washes out. And sometimes the lighting just makes it wash out no matter what, which is super annoying because it's a really pretty color. It's like Caribbean blue. Like you see the commercials for like the Caribbean islands, and I say it both ways, Caribbean and Caribbean. But you see the commercials for the Caribbean islands, you see the Caribbean Ocean. That's what it looks like. Okay, next up is Haunted Library Sow. That was assigned to temperature number, like if it ends in 6. And this came up once, so it got 100 stitches on it. And this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. This was by Lola Crow Cross Stitch, and this was put out in 2022. I am still on the prologue. I am terrible at keeping up with sows because I get sick of them. Not this one I didn't get sick of. I actually didn't start this one until it was almost done. But I'm terrible about keeping up with sows because I like jumping around from project to project, as you can see with all the stuff I've worked on. And so I don't join a sow to actually stitch along. I join the sow because I like the pattern. So her other sows that she's released, the aquarium, the Deadly Aquarium is the one that just finished, and I really want to get that one. And her Greenhouse of Oddities, I want to get that one too. And then I have that, this one's not a sow, but she has that nightly ball that I picked up from Market, and I want to get that started as well. I have to get fabric for it though. Okay, so this got 100 stitches on it. I'm doing it with the Call for DMC on an I think this might be, it might be an 18 count Ada in the color Vintage Country Mocha by Spygart. And I worked up here. That's all of it. But I worked up here. Worked on getting the flooring filled in on that. And I think I worked a bit more on the banister. Like this part right here. But yeah. So there's that. Got another 100 stitches. Okay. And then the one that was assigned to number 7 was Peacock Gnome. It did not get pulled this week, or called, it didn't come up this week. The one assigned to number 8 is Welcome, and this is another Artiste kit. It came up once, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. All the symbols on this one are correct as far as I can tell. And I am working on the E over here. So I got all of the cross stitching done on it. So I started working on the back stitching. Started working on the back stitching of the E. So I got the fork done, and then I came up the back of the ladle, and I got the back of the spoon right here. And so so when it comes back out again, I'm gonna keep working on the knife, and then I'll come back down the front of the ladle, and I'll get the spoon, and then I'll come back down this way. And then that will be done. And I was saying before that I might do the chicken. I might go up here and do the chicken that's sitting up here, but I think what I might do is maybe, I don't know, I'll probably change my mind again. But I think I might go over and do, the L. once I get done with this, instead of doing that, I think I might come over here and do the L. We'll see. We shall see, because I change my mind all the time, just like I change my plans all the time. I'm not changing plans this week. Not adding, not subtracting, keeping everything the same this week for a change. Okay, and then the last one for the temperature stitching is Spanish Sampler. That was assigned to the number 9. What did I do with the book? Okay, hang on. Oh, okay, so this Spanish Sampler comes out of this book. 101 Best Loved Designs from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This is available on Amazon for a penny. A lot of pennies. I got it on Facebook Marketplace. I would probably keep an eye out for maybe a cheaper, because I think the last time I saw it on Amazon, it was like 75 bucks. I mean, there's a decent amount of patterns in here, so it might be worth it to you. It was not worth it to me, so I waited until I saw it on Facebook Marketplace and I snatched that puppy up for $25. Okay, so this is Spanish Sampler. Kind of hard, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And it came up one time, so it got 100 stitches on it. I'm using the called for DMC. I'm stitching it 2 over 2, unless it's satin stitches, and then I'm going to use 3 strands on a 28 count white casual linen that I had in my stash. I don't usually like working with linen, but I had it and it works. And I did 100 stitches on it, and I'm working in this band is, this block right here is done, but I'm working on this band that's going across. So freaking, hang on. The freaking fan is like blowing me here, there, and everywhere. So, so I finished my thread. That was it's going to be diamonds, but I'm trying to not carry my thread too much. So I was like, well, let me just kind of work it in a zigzag. And then next time I pull this thread out, I'll do the zigzag going to the top, so it'll end up being a full diamond. And this, you can actually see it a little bit better now, but the green is 4-sided backstitch like this outer border is right here. And so I got most of it done. I basically finished my thread that I had for that. And then I started working on the white in the middle here. So the next time this comes out, I'm going to finish the inside of the square. I'm going to work on the little corner, so you got stitches up here. They're down here too. I'll do that. And then there's like this zigzaggy backstitch going underneath it. I'll probably start on that as well. And I'll just kind of keep working my way, doing like, you know, a bit of the border at the top and the bottom, and doing a bit in the middle. So yeah. I really like this piece a lot. Who'd have thunk? Because I don't usually like samplers. Okay, so that's all my temperature stitching. But wait, there's more. Oh, over an hour. Oh my goodness. And I'm still showing whips. Oh my God. Okay. Next up is my Monopoly stitching. So real quick, for my temperature stitching, I'm going to keep doing the highs only, and maybe next year I can go ahead and do the lows as well, because I won't have 4 focus pieces. I'll have 2. I'll have Honeymoon Sunset and my Whip of Shame, because next year my Sal will be done and Yippee-Ki-Yay should be done by then. So next up is my Monopoly pieces. So if you have not watched my channel before, I started playing Monopoly. I have whips assigned to all the properties. Go check out, I'm going to try to remember to link that video. I'm not probably going to link anything else down below, but I'll have this Monopoly video linked down below where I explain the rules, explain what I'm doing with it down below. And so I'm playing with 4 tokens, a cat, a dog, a thimble, and a car. So I've got 4 players. The cat landed on Pennsylvania Railroad, and the property assigned to that is, all my railroads have the Cooler Design Studios summer or seasonal samplers assigned to them. So this is Summer Sampler from Cooler Design Studio by Sandy Orton, and they're still in the first pass around the board, and so I'm doing a combination of traditional rules and house rules. So the first pass around the board, there's no property buying, so it's just 100 stitches on the property. So this piece got 100 stitches, and I'm doing it with the called for DMC 2/2 on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And I worked more in the lighthouse scene up here, and I will stay working in that scene until it is done, like including the back stitching, except for the very edge, like right there, maybe. I'll save that back stitching for when those sections get completed. But I'm gonna see how I do with doing section by section and doing it that way. But yeah, this got 100 stitches on it. I love these sampler pieces a lot. So I was very happy when the cat landed on the railroad. Okay. And the dog landed in jail the first week. And so I've been trying to roll doubles to get this dog out of jail. Now, if I roll 3 times and I still don't get doubles, then I can just do a 300 stitch penalty. And did I say 3? No, it's 200 stitches, but I go ahead and get out of jail. If too many pieces keep landing in jail, I am giving myself the option to just pay 300 stitches on the piece, do 300 stitches and just get out and not keep doing the rolls. I probably will only do that if multiple pieces land in jail, because I ain't gonna be doing a crap ton of stitches every week on this piece. I just can't do it. So this is one of my whips of shame. This is a whole, look how terrible this cover photo looks. A whole lot of latte by Dimensions. I have to, I like the piece. I like how it looks. It looks really cute. I love the colors on the black fabric. This is my least favorite piece. Not where I'm like, oh my God, I hate it, I want to UFO it. I just don't like working on it, and I don't know why. So this is my least favorite piece out of all of them. So it's my go to jail piece. So he did not get out of jail. So I had to do 200 stitches on this. And I did. I worked in this. This is where I'm at with it so far. But I worked in that cup right there, that blue one. So that's the whole piece so far that I have. I like the colors. I like the design. I don't know why I don't like working on this thing. I don't mind stitching on black fabric. I really don't. I have pieces that I'm like, ooh, I want to do this on black fabric. Like the band sampler. I also have the rainbow sampler, and whenever I get that one started, I'll be doing that one on black fabric. I don't mind stitching on the dark fabric. I don't like working on this for some reason. I don't know why. So, yeah. So there's that. So that was the dog. And then the thimble. Oh my God, the thimble. So the thimble rolled doubles first and landed on Electric Company. And, and that one is from Sugar Stitches Design, Cupid's Cafe. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And since this is the first go round, it got 100 stitches. I honestly do not know. You might be able to tell because I worked a lot in the top. So I worked a lot in the top, so you could probably see my progress. You can see the white stitching a little bit better when I hold it like that. You see like here. I didn't do that white stitching like this week, but that's where I'm like, I don't know if you'll be able to see the stitching. Like you can see it just fine in person, but on camera it's kind of hard. But yeah, I worked a lot. I worked a lot up here. So I did 100 stitches on that because it's the first pass around the board because we just started playing this game, right? And since I got doubles, hang on, let me figure out how I'm gonna put this back in here. I'm trying to like, because this fabric holds a fold like nobody's business. So I keep trying to alternate, and I have it tucked in the leaflet, and I keep changing how it's tucked in there so that the fold disappears over time. So I had landed on, so I got double, so I rolled again, and it landed on a chance card, and the chance card said advance to boardwalk. Boardwalk, and it said the chance card was advance to boardwalk and do 200 stitches. So that kind of overrode the 100 stitch thing for the first pass, right? The boardwalk piece is the Mermaids of the Seasons, I almost said sea, Mermaids of the Season style from Bella Filipina. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I had to do 200 stitches on this. And I'm doing it on the called for fabric, which is a 28 count Lugana in the color Singing in the Rain. And where did I work? Oh yeah! Okay, so let me show you the spring side real quick. I've only gotten a start on spring and summer. I told you I'm terrible at keeping up with Sal's. I only got a start on spring and summer. So there's spring. That's not where I worked. Where I worked was summer. And that's where I'm at. I did some of the Kreinik border right here and worked mainly in her tail. And you can't see the sparkly. That's a shame. I got some of the Kreinik done in her tail. And in person, it really sparkles. But that kind of like gold right here. And then you can kind of see it better on the blue. But I got my 200 stitches done on that. And not gonna lie, everyone's like, oh my God, Kreinik is terrible. I don't know if it's this piece, if it's the particular thread I'm working with. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I was like kind of dreading working with the Kreinik, but I was like, you know what, let me start knocking this out. I don't mind it. I actually did not mind working on it at all. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of nice. Who knew? I don't know if it's like that all the time, if I will end up regretting it, but I will say I am using lengths of Kreinik that like I'll hold it in my hand and I'll cut it like maybe at the longest right here. But I'm kind of cutting it a little short. So that might be part of it too. It's not fraying like crazy on me by the time I get done with that length. That could be part of it. Okay, so the thimble, we're still on the thimble. It had rolled doubles, then doubles again, landed on boardwalk, then it rolled again for the third time, and I was like, oh my God, if this thing rolls doubles and lands in jail, I'm gonna shoot myself. It did not, but I passed go. It rolled like a 4, 5, I don't know, but I passed go. Okay, so when I pass go, I do 200 stitches on my Enchanted Christmas Reindeer Stocking from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. and it is 240 by 344 with 87 colors. So this is my go piece. So if I pass go, I'm gonna do 200 stitches. If I land on go, I do 400. I'm doing it 2/1 half cross. That's why I was like 200 and 400. That's really not a big deal. On a 25 count easy count Lugana. And this is the whole thing here, but where I worked at, was up here. And guess what I started doing? I started turning into a diagonal. So I worked in that little corner right there. So I got my 200 stitches done. That does not look like 200 stitches, but I guess it is. Who'd have thought? Oh, and I think, oh, you know what? I think I got that diagonal done, and then I was working on a little bit in this one here. So this one's going to be for one of my kids. I don't remember which one. But I now have a total of 11,380 stitches done out of 55,903, and I am at 20.36%. I have another stocking for my other child. They keep going back and forth on who gets which one. I don't know which one gets which one yet. I haven't decided. They haven't decided. But I'm doing one for my other kid as well. And that one is my free parking one. Okay. So it passed go, the thimble did, we're still on the thimble, and it landed on Baltic. Now, the fact that it's passed go, now it has the option to purchase properties. So, side one, the properties can be purchased for 100 stitches. So Baltic is Spa Gnome, and so the thimble now owns Spa Gnome. And this is what Spa Gnome is going to, I'm holding it back here because obviously that's the pattern. So Spa Gnome, and this is from cuteboardery.com. And I'm doing this on a 14 count Charles Craft Ada, one that you pick up at the, oh, now the sky's dark, but earlier the sky looked like this fabric. But I'm doing a 14 count Charles Craft Ada. It's a printed fabric, and it's like this pink purple, kind of like how the sky looked that you didn't see because it was behind you. But yeah, so I got my 100 stitches on this. Where did I work? I don't even remember. I worked on so many projects this week, I don't remember where I worked, but apparently wherever I ended was with this brown thread in the braid. So yeah, when you work on this much stuff in a week, it's hard to remember where exactly you worked on certain things. Pretty sure I was working in the hair because I only needed 100 stitches, so I'm pretty sure I was working on the braid. So now the thimble owns Baltic Avenue, right? Baltic, yeah. I think the thimble rolled a 4. Oh, I have the board sitting right there. Stupid. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, rolled like a 3 into 1. Okay. Now we're moving on to the final piece, which is the car. And the car landed on Virginia. And the car is still going through its first go round. So this is 100 stitches. The car landed on Virginia, which is assigned to, I'm going to keep the pattern in the plastic so I don't feel like fighting with it. Autumn Favorites by Shannon Christine Designs. That's what that's going to look like. I'm doing it on a 16 count Ada in the color chalkboard. So the colors aren't as like in your face as they are on the mock-up there, because the mock-up is on like black. And I ended up doing my 100 stitches down in where it's going to say bonfires. Doing my 100 stitches there. Did my 100 stitches there. So that's where that one is. I was debating if I was going to keep working on the truck, and I was like, no, I really want to get that bonfires board done because it looks really cute. I like it a lot. So, yeah. I'm finally done showing all 23 of my whips that I worked on since last Thursday. We'll see how I do this week because I have less days to work on my stuff because today's Friday. I'm going to film again next Thursday, and I have no idea how much stitching I'm going to get done this week or tonight because this is a really long ass video. But I also don't have my kids, so, and I have nothing planned, so I can just cross stitch when I get home from work. Okay, let's update my boards. All right. Where's my marker? Here it is. Okay. So this is going to be the board that we update first. And this is my new starts and work on until it's finished. Oh, hold on, let me get the cap off of this thing. Okay, so. So I have my 5 new starts that are in my rotation right now. Hang on, I have a hair on my arm. Okay. I have my 5 new starts that are in my rotation right now. So I'm going to keep rotating through these, keep picking these until they hit their 3,000 stitch goal. Once they do, I will pull a new one to replace it. Pull a new start to replace it. Okay, so I worked on Halloween Spell, and hang on, that's not the book I want. Hang on, where are my numbers? One moment. Where's my book with all my numbers? Because I did actually do my numbers. Here we go. Okay, Halloween Spell is now up to 631 stitches done. You see what I mean? Like, I've only done 631 stitches on it, and I'm already at the point where I can do the metallic and the beads, and it still has, it went from 2,600 stitches. Oh no. Oh shit, what did that say? I'll have to go back and look at the video. I accidentally erased part of that. You don't need to tell me, because when I go back to edit, I will look at what this is right here before I erased it and write it down properly. But this still has 2,369 stitches done that needs to be done to hit its goal of 3,000, and it's like close to being done. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll have to fix that. Wait, maybe I don't need to. 625. Oh, you know what? I think that might be I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say 2,315. We'll see if I'm right. I might not be right. I could be completely wrong in that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I'll fix it when I go back to edit. Okay. And then down here, I have my 15 projects that I'm going to work on until they're done. I don't have stitch counts for these because I have no idea how many stitches they're going to be to finish them. But what I worked on was the gingerbread train. So this is going from 610 stitches to 1,020 that have been put in on this. So there's that board. Okay, the next one is my non-full coverage. And this one I worked on Sugar Cookie House, which is down here. I have not worked on this yet, and I put in 500 stitches. And so this goal is going from, so my non-full coverages, I have a goal of 5,000 stitches. So this is going from 5,000 down to 4,500. And then like once these hit their goals, they'll get switched out for something else. Okay. Next board is my full coverage board. And if you have not seen me before, I have a lot more projects. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this like because sometimes I'll make comments about how many projects I have. This is my active rotation. I have a lot more projects than this. I just needed to pare this down. Of course, I pare it down to something that's more manageable. And what I do, I start adding shit in, like the temperature stitching and the Monopoly game. Like, it don't matter. It don't matter. It's okay. Okay. The full coverage I worked on was Springtime Splendor, which is down here, number 17. And I did 465 stitches on this, and my full coverage pieces have goals of 10,000 stitches. So this went from 10,000, it is now 9,535. Once these goals get hit, they will get switched out for another full coverage. Oh, I need that eraser for my last board. I do that every week. Okay, my final board. These are my 4 focus. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Let me go back to Splendor. Let me go back to my full coverage board for a second because my Monopoly piece that was on Go, the reindeer stocking, it's actually on my active rotation. So I'm going to count the Monopoly stitches as this going towards the 10,000. So I did 200 stitches on this down here, reindeer stocking. So this goes down to 9,800 stitches. So when the reindeer stocking hits its goal of 10,000 stitches, it will stay in Monopoly, but it will come out of, because I still have the option to pull that reindeer stocking out of my basket. But once it hits 10,000, it'll stay in Monopoly, but it will come out of the basket. There's a few active rotations in the Monopoly game, but not a lot. Okay, so here's my focus piece board. It's got like eraser dust all over it. It's okay. Okay, so the first one we're going to update is the Paid Sal. Oh my god, I put the eraser back on the board. Hang on. Okay, so the first one we're going to update is the Paid Sal. So my total stitches completed has gone from 44,554 to 46,212. And my total stitches remaining to finish this damn piece off went from 16,946 down to, I gotta find it again, hang on, 15,288. I like seeing the number drop that much. That's great. Okay, Honeymoon Sunset. My goal was 45% by the end of 2025. My total stitches completed since I began this goal went from 5,040 to, okay, I don't know why that was like so hard for me to figure out just now. 5,640. My stitches remaining to finish my goal went from 54,186 down to 53,586. I keep double checking myself because I know that you guys are at home doing the math with me, and you will definitely correct me if I get something wrong. Okay, Yippee-ki-yay, or nope, Goodnight Bears. Technically, I guess we could go ahead and update this because the goal is completed. This is now from 2,067. It has gone up to 3,026. Yeah, I guess we could update this because now I can say done. Yay. Okay. Last one is yippee-ki-yay. My goal is to finish this thing. My goal amount, let's do this. Hang on, let me do this part first because there's a lot of back stitching in this. So I previously added 1,000 stitches to it for the back stitching, and I think I might need to add more. But my total stitches done went from 1,644 to 2,126, and my goal to finish went from 4,820 down to 4,338. But let's do this. Let's add 1,000 because of the back stitching. So this will now be 5,338. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So that's all my boards updated. Now, let's pick my pieces for next week. My weekly pulls. Okay. This is my non-full coverage. So I'm going to pull these, and then once I pull these, I'm going to stop the video. I'll film a round of Monopoly, and I'll pull all the pieces that I am supposed to work on this coming week, and I'll show you what they are. So my non-full coverage for the week will be Cookie Time. That is by Soda Stitch. My full coverage for the week will be, okay, so before I pulled this, I was going to say, if I worked on it this past week, I'm not going to work on it again. And what did I pull? Springtime Splendor. So we're not doing that one. We're going to pull a different one. Oh, Cosmic Bowling. That's a good one. Okay. Let me put this one back in here because I'm done with that. Okay. All right. And then I should have done this before. I have 3 different types of projects in this bin right here. You'd think I would have planned ahead. So I've got the blue is my new starts. I've got 5 of those. Then the green is my Whips of Shame that I pull from halfway through the month for you guys to vote on. And then the yellow is my work on until it's finished. And do you think that I would have thought ahead and separated these out? Because I just keep them in one container because there's not that many of them, of each one. I think I would have separated them out before I started filming. You would think. A prudent floss tuber would have done that. Okay, so the first work on till it's finished piece is going, I'm like staring at the camera, so I'm not like cheating. First work on till, or the work on till it's finished piece is going to be Hello Summer. Anyone who's watched me for any length of time, that is my penis popsicle piece. Okay, and then the new start, that's not a new start anymore piece is going to be, nope, Halloween Spell. I picked that. I've just worked on that. I mean, I don't want to work on it again this week because I already have oh, that one jumped. This one literally jumped out into my lap. I already have repeats with the temperature stitching, potential repeats in Monopoly. I ain't doing that. Oh God. Autumn Spice. I just worked on this one 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's all right. It's okay. All right. So those are going to be my weekly pulls. Now I'm going to pause the video, set up to play around in Monopoly. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay. Okay, so here's my Monopoly game. So real quick, what some people have been doing before I play the rounds, I have projects assigned to each property, which I have explained in my initial Monopoly video. I have projects assigned to each property, and so my pieces, I'm playing with 4 tokens, and as they go around the board, they will whatever they land on is what I stitch on. If you want to play along at home, you can. You do not need 20-something projects to assign to each property. If you want to play along with me at home, what you could do, say you just wanted to use one whip, you could assign your whip to one of my tokens. I have one person that assigned themselves to the dog, one person assigned themselves to the thimble, and I'm not saying 4 people can play. I'm like, you guys at home can pick one of these tokens, and whatever they land on, however many stitches I say to do on that property, you could do on the whip that you have assigned at home. And someone had said, someone had suggested a hashtag, and they said hashtag Jen's Monopoly Sal. So I'll have that on the screen somewhere, and I'll probably put that in the description box down below as well. Okay, I guess I do have to put crap in the description box now. You can tag me on Instagram. I don't personally post a lot on Instagram, but I do go on Instagram and stalk other people. So you can tag me on Instagram. I am Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, underscores between all the words. I'll have my Instagram handle down below as well. I'll probably put it on the screen too if I remember. But yeah, like say you decide, well, I want to play along and I want to be the cat, and you have, I don't know, just for example, say you have like autumn favorites at home, right? And you're like, well, I'm going to use autumn favorites as the Monopoly piece. And every time the cat lands on something, however many stitches I do on that property's thing, that's how much you do on autumn favorites. For example, if you have whatever. Anyway, so that's how you can play along at home. I do all the work and you just stitch along with whatever I say. Okay. So, and then the chance cards that I've already played for the past couple rounds are over here off to the side, so I don't pull them again. But I have all my tokens where they were before, and I tried to have as much of this board as possible in the camera. So hopefully we won't need to go up to that side. If we do, I'll probably just slide the board down so I don't have to move the camera. All right, so let's get started. So the cat is up first, and what did I do? Do I not have a pen over here? Oh my God, I'm so unprepared. Hang on. So what I'm doing is I'm writing down in my notebook here where everybody is, and I'll be tracking what properties own, or what tokens own what properties. So that way I can like put this up at the end of the night, and I don't have to keep it out all the time. Okay. First up is the cat, and it rolled a 10, so it's going to land on the other railroad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lands on B&O Railroad. Yay! It's another sampler. Okay, next up is the dog. The dog is in jail. Let's see if we get doubles. If we get doubles, he comes out of jail, and I'm going to go ahead and let him go. If he does not get doubles, I got to do stitches on the, because this is roll number 2. It has to roll 3 times. It has 3 rolls total. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so the dog is stuck in jail, so that freaking whole lot of latte is going to get more stitches. Okay, next up is the thimble. The thimble who caused me so much misery last week because it ended up getting a crap ton of doubles and landing on all the pieces. Okay, so this is still the first go round. So the railroad piece over there for the cat is going to get 100 stitches, and then whatever one the car lands on will also be 100. But the thimble, and once the dog gets out of jail, its properties will still be 100 because it's still the first go round. The thimble has passed go, so now whatever it lands on, I can buy. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the thimble is going to by States Avenue. Okay, now for the car. Uh-oh, doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is still the first round. So, God, which one is that? Illinois. All right, so doubles. So he's going to go again. 9. 1, 2. Oh, hold up. Let me back up for a second, because now we're going to the other side. Let me move the thimble and the dog because we know where they are. Here we go. Okay, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Community's chest. Buy a few cookies from the bake sale. New start! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's exciting. All right, hang on. Okay, I had to mark down where the car is going to be. This is going to be exciting. So what I'll do is, for this is I'll pull out my new start bin, and I'm just going to, when I come back after I pull all my whips, I will just reach in and pull a new start out, and then I will put 200 stitches in on that new start. Oh, that's exciting. Yay! Okay, all right. Hang on one second. I'm writing new start in here before I forget. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna pause the video. And so if you guys are playing along and you're the car and I land on something like this, you don't need to necessarily do a new start yourself. You could just go ahead and keep one single Monopoly whip and just keep putting stitch. So if you were doing that, if you're like, no, I don't want to do all that, I just want to have one whip dedicated to this game as she plays, you could just do 200 stitches on the Monopoly, on the whip that you have for Monopoly. Unless you want to do a new start, then you can do 200 stitches with me and tag me on Instagram. All right, so let me pause the video. I'm gonna go gather up all these whips that I gotta work on, and see you in a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm like this because in here are all the new starts. I posted a video of all the new starts waiting waiting to be started, right? So I have a new start for the Monopoly, so I'm going to just reach my hands in here. I'm not pulling one off the top. I'm reaching my hands way down in here, and I have these in no particular order anymore. And let's just, this is exciting. Which one are we pulling out? We're pulling out this one. What is this? Well, we'll see it in a minute. Oh, that's the chart. Oh, I know which one this is. Okay, cool. All right, let me put that over there. Let me move this down here. Okay. Okay. All right, so for the Monopoly game, the new start from landing on the community chest, let me just do that since it's right here, is going to be another kit. And I don't speak French. It's an artiste kit. What is that? Un poulet? One chicken. A chicken. It's technically full coverage because all of that border is stitched. But I'll be using whatever came in the kit. I will probably, I'll probably start in the middle. Kits, I'm always a little nervous about how much fabric they give you for a margin. Not really sure about the artiste ones, so I'll probably just start in the middle. I don't know if that's going to be the chicken or the background. Probably right in the middle of the chicken with all the boring ass colors. So there's that. That's going to be my new start. So that'll get 200 stitches. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. Okay, let me slide this chair over here. Okay. And then my 4 focus pieces. Apparently I only pulled out 2. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I know why. Okay, so I have my Sal did I throw my Sal in the bins? I have to go back and look. Oh my God, I think I threw the Sal in the bins. Anyway, I'll find it later. Okay. Okay, so let's keep going with the Monopoly pieces. Okay, so that was for the car. That was where it ended up landing, was on Community Chest. And then Illinois was, which one was it? You'd think I would have had organized this a little bit better. I was just throwing stuff on the couch over here. Illinois is, oh. Is it this? No. Where did they go? Here it is. Okay, so Illinois Avenue, which was the other piece that the car had landed on when it rolled doubles, is Dimensions Gold Collection, Cherry Blossom Creek. And this one will get 100 stitches. I actually did measure this, and I started in the top left corner. And that's where I'm at with that one. That's my starting point. So this will get 100 stitches. And then the thimble is landed on States Avenue, so it's going to purchase that. And that one is from Stitchman Darcy, and it is called I Love You to Death. Oh, it's right here. View PDF. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And again, I'll go over fabric and stats and everything beforehand. Or not beforehand, my next week's video on my update. And that's my starting point. So this one will, so side number 2, so the thimble is purchasing States Avenue, and it's on side number 2. So to purchase this, it will be 200 stitches for the thimble to buy States Avenue. Okay. And then, so we're kind of working backwards here because I started with the car. Then the dog is still in jail. So the whip of shame, or the, not the whip of shame, but it's in the whip of shame category. But a whole lot of latte is going to get, my mom made this bag, by the way. She made this bag for me. It's a Central Perk because I love the show Friends. But a whole lot of lattes in here, so it's going to get another 200 stitches. And then the cat landed on B&O Railroad, and that is one of the samplers from Cooler Design Studio. This one is Autumn Sampler. And this is still the cat's first pass around the board. So it is going to, Autumn Sampler will get 100 stitches. That's my starting point on that. I gotta check. I think all of the back stitching is done in that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was my goal last year, was to get all the back stitching done in that. So that's my starting point for that one. Okay, so those are my Monopoly pieces. My temperature pieces, I went ahead and looked ahead. I actually accidentally included next Friday in this. And I want to say, I accidentally included Friday because I was just like kind of scrolling through the days. And I want to say, so actually welcome should only be, there we go. Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second. So what's today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I went a day too far. I accidentally included next Thursday, so I'm not going to do that. but I know which one it was, so I just kind of scribbled it out. Okay, so for next week's temperature stitching, I looked ahead because I figured out if I'm going to keep doing it like this, I've got to be able to work on it, more of it over the weekend, so I'm not behind. Merry Christmas. So the ending in 1 comes up 2 times. Merry Christmas is assigned to the number 1. It only had, I have a goal. Let me start over. I have a goal with my temperature stitching of working on these pieces for 100 stitches each 10 times for a total of 1,000 stitches. Once they hit 1,000 stitches, they get set aside and they get replaced with a new one. At the end of my stitching week this week, Merry Christmas had 1 time left before it would need to be replaced. I've done 900 stitches on it so far, so it had 1 time left before it hits 1,000. It's assigned to the number 1. 1 pops up on the temperature this week 2 times. So let me find Merry Christmas. Is this it? Yeah. So I'm not going to be showing you the projects. I just showed it when I was showing my whips, but Merry Christmas. So the 1 pops up 2 times, but this only needs 1 more time before it gets replaced. So I'm going to do 100 on this one. And my replacement piece will be from Shannon Christine Designs. And this is Cup of Cheer. Isn't that cute? And this is my starting point. So this will also get 100 stitches and it will become the new number 1 temperature. So if I stay caught up on the temperature stitching, then next week this will have 9 times left that I can work on it. Okay, then sampler 124 will be the next one, and that one at the end of this week also had 1 time left to work on it, but it only comes up 1 time. So when I get the 100 stitches done on this one will be completed. And for both Merry Christmas and sampler 124, I will do a complete before and after from the previous, like when I started doing the temperature stitching until that. So it'll be a full 1,000 stitches you'll see on next week's video. I have not pulled the replacement piece for this one because it only came up 1 time, so I don't need to worry about the replacement piece for this one this week. I'll pull it and show you guys next week what that's going to be. And then the next one that comes up is Peacock Gnome, number 7. It will get worked on once as soon as I find it. Where is it? Nope. I know I pulled it. I know I pulled it out. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Peacock Gnome is assigned to number 7, and it will get worked on 1 time. This is from cutebroidery.com. Cutebroidery.com. That's what it's going to look like. I gotta sneeze. Don't sneeze. I don't want to have to pause the video again. Okay, I think I'm good. And I'm gonna hide my yarn. Okay, that's my starting point. So this will get 100. And then the next one is the one for number 8, and that is Welcome, which I showed you already. That one will get 100 stitches. That's the one I accidentally circled 2 on because, yeah. So this one will also get 100. And then the last one is Spanish Sampler, which I showed you already. And this one will get another 100 stitches. So that's exciting. Okay, now for, I still have to show the Whips of Shame, the Whip of Shame winner. I haven't forgotten. Okay, now for my weekly polls. Let me get these out of the way. My weekly pulse, my work on till it's finished. I was trying to remember which one this was, what category it was. My work on till it's finished is Hello Summer from It's So Emma. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And let me use my board because this fabric is dark. I got some popsicle penis and butts going on here. Boobs, whatever. They're very phallic looking right now. So that's my starting point on that. I wanted to get, I still didn't get them all. I was trying to, when I worked on this before, I was trying to get all of the popsicles started. I didn't even do that. I still have the rocket pop over the S. Still have the rocket pop to get started too. But yeah. And then my not new start. It's my new start rotation right now. Is Autumn Spice, another one from It's So Emma. I think I worked on this like not this past week, but the week before. That's why when I pulled it, I'm like, oh God. But I've only got 5 to pick from, so it's not like I've got a lot to choose from with the new start things, you know? And that's my starting point with it. This one, so work on till it's finished. I don't know how many stitches that'll be, so I don't have a goal number for that. But this one here, I need 2,074 stitches to meet the goal for this. Wow, you can really see the gingham print on this now. Usually when I'm filming during the day, because it's like dark out now, usually when I'm filming during the day, you can't really see it. Okay, maybe I should film late at night more often. It's not that late, it's only 8:30, but it's dark. Although it is getting to be like fall going into winter, so it's gonna be dark at like 4 o'clock pretty soon anyway. Okay, then my non-full coverage for the week is from Soda Stitch, and it's called Cookie Time. And that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. And that is my starting point. I will keep working in the jar of candy right here. It's really cute. I like this piece a lot. I'm glad that this got pulled, even though I just worked on it like 2 weeks ago. I like it. Oh, so this one here, I have worked on this before. Hang on. What's it called? Cookie Time. This one has, let's see, it's number 5. This one has 3,995 stitches to reach its goal of 5,000 stitches. All right. My full coverage for the week. Oh, here's my hate Sal. Let me put this right here. Okay, my full coverage for the week is from Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is called Cosmic Bowling. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. And the printout I have is, yeah, okay. For a second I thought I had pulled the wrong piece out. Hang on, where is Cosmic Bowling? I wish you could sort things off. I know you can on markup, but I don't like markup. So I'll just complain about the very few features that I don't like about Pattern Keeper. Okay, Cosmic Bowling by Amy Stewart. This is regular size, regular color. I love this. And so I bought this piece. I'm gonna say it next week too when I show this again. But I bought this piece because my nephew for the past few years has been doing bowling birthday parties, like at the bowling alley. And I swear to God, it looks just like this. And I love this so much. I love it because we have such a good time. Like, I don't really hang out with his mom like my stepsister. I have a lot of step siblings. I I don't really hang out with my stepsister anymore. We're just kind of different people, different points of view on life and whatnot. You know, it's like just because you're related doesn't mean you have to hang out, right? But I always go to his birthday parties. I didn't last year because I was at the retreat. But he ended up not doing a bowling birthday. And I was sad I was going to miss his birthday party because I loved the bowling birthday. But he ended up having a party at his house last year. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not too sad that I'm missing it. But I found out that they're going to do a bowling birthday party this year. And I'm so excited. So excited. But this is my starting point with Cosmic Bowling. And I will be converting this into a diagonal because I'm doing it full cross so I don't have to count over. So I will be converting this into a diagonal. That's my starting point with that. And I have not worked on this since I started doing, actually I don't think I've worked on this since last year. But I have not worked on this yet since I started doing my new goal rotation. So this has a 10,000 stitch goal still. So we'll see how much I can get done on that. Okay. Whip of shame time. So I had you guys vote over the past 2 weeks on 2 different pieces. And I'll just show you the cover photos of them both. Gotta save the best for last, right? So your choices were both Super Ass Old Kits, Frederick, and Walking to Town. This one and this one. One of them got 47 votes. No. One of them got 49 votes and the other one got 99 votes. Walking to Town is the winner. I'm fine with it. I would have been fine with either one. I like Frederick a lot, but I did work on him already as a whip of shame in the month of May. So Walking to Town is the winner with 99 votes. Like, holy cow, that was a lot. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. Like, I think this past month it was pretty close. Okay, so let me get my board out again because this is another dark fabric. So let me get a little bit closer here. So this will be my whip of shame for the month of October. I don't know if I'm going to start working on it today. Probably not. But I will probably start working on it tomorrow, a couple days early. And this is a really old Dimensions kit from 1999. Artwork it's designed by Fred Swan. I'm using whatever came in the kit. It's a 18 count Navy Ada. And did I prep this ahead of time? Last month I went ahead and prepped and made a copy of the pattern and started highlighting. Did I do that this time? Sure as shit didn't. Wait, did I? Oh, wait. I did when I was working on it last year. So I will probably go ahead and keep working on this side. I'll have to recopy it though because I want to, but this is my starting point. So my goal will be 100 stitches a day for the month of October. So that gives me a goal of 3,100 stitches for the month. So that's my starting point. You guys really want me to get this crap done from the 1900s, don't you? Okay. So, how many projects is that I have to work on? I've got my 4 focus pieces, my 8 weekly, hold on. I have 8 weekly pieces, 4 focus, 4 I pulled. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 temperature pieces because one of them is going to get replaced with a new one. Because technically it was 5 temperatures, but one's going to get a new one. So it'll be 6 temperature pieces. So it's what, 14? And then for the Monopoly game, I know you guys are probably shouting it at me, but it's okay. Monopoly game will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 19. I did 23 last week. So you guys might get to see all of it again. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about regarding like plans. Oh, so next week you'll have an extra video because I'm going to do my end of the month stats for September. I'm going to film that probably, I'm going to try to film it Tuesday because I don't have my kids this week. So Tuesday is October the 1st. And so I will try to do that when I get home before I start stitching so that I will be able to literally show my stuff. If the end of the month happens while I have my kids, then what I'll have to do is whatever I work on, because I'm not going to film while I have my children because they're loud and they're obnoxious and they're like, they're big dorks. They're like, hey, you know, and they'll be making noises and farting and all that stuff because they're boys. But I'm going to do my end of the month. I don't have them this week, so I can do my end of the month stats on Tuesday. And I will show you the before photos, like the beginning of the month photos and current photos of everything I've worked on through Monday. Since it'll kind of be a little bit of a couple days of the end of August because I'm just going off of the final of the, like, as close to the beginning of September as I can, but a few days of August were included in my first September video or whatever. I don't know. I figured it out, but a couple days at the end of August will be included in my September stats. And one thing that will not be included is what the beginning of the month percentages were on everything. I'll know the stitch counts, but not the percentages. And what I'll start doing for the month of October is I will, if I have a percentage, if it's on Pattern Keeper, I will write down what it started at the beginning of the month. Like Cosmic Bowling, I will write down that at the beginning of the month I had 2,000 stitches done and I was at 0.5%. That way at the end of the month, if I work on it more than once, I'll know what my stats were at the beginning. So I'll do that for Honeymoon Sunset too, and we'll see and the mushroom cell, the hate cell, and we'll see bigger numbers with those. But I don't know what the percentages were for that. But yeah, so I'll film that on Tuesday. And my Monopoly game, I am going to make game boards that will be a lot bigger. Not necessarily bigger, but I'm going to make it kind of like Yoshi and Alara. I think I have not gotten to watch Yoshi's update yet. I'm probably going to do that either tonight or tomorrow. I have my kids and I wanted to be able to focus on what he was saying. When I watch Flosstube and my kids are here, it's like I've got the Flosstube going in my hearing aids. I've got my 11-year-old playing, you know, talking with his friends or playing on his like VR headset Oculus thing, and he's like being loud over here on this side of the closet, like on the other side of the closet. And then over here, my 14-year-old is playing on his PlayStation, talking with his friends. And that kid, holy cow, he hasn't gone through puberty yet, but his voice is so freaking deep already. So he sounds like a grown-ass man. And he's like, bro, what are you doing? No, oh, I killed him. So he plays like Call of Duty. And his voice, like, he sounds like a grown-ass man when he starts hollering. Like, so it's hard for me to concentrate. So usually when I watch Flosstube, I try to do it when I don't have the kids, because that way I can, like, focus on what the person's saying. When I'm watching something when I have them, I'll usually put something silly on that I've seen 1,000 times, like a Big Bang Theory or Friends, or like something I don't have to pay attention to really. Or like if my kids come in, they start talking to me, like I'm not like, oh, hold on, wait, I missed something, you know. So I save Flosstube for when I don't have the boys. But my Monopoly game. Oh, I wish I would have watched Yoshi's video before I did this, because I think he talked about his Monopoly plans. And I'm going to do kind of like what he's doing, and also what Alara's doing. She has not posted an update because, like she said in her last one, she's got a lot of work to focus on right now, like real work. But all three of us are going to be we're all playing our own individual games. I can't play with other people because I'll flip the board when I get pissed off. So does Alara. I'm not sure about Yoshi. He seems like a really nice guy. I don't think he would do that. But I'm a board flipper, so I don't play with other people. And I'm going to have multiple levels. Like, I think when I first started talking about it, I showed you guys screenshots of the multi-level Monopoly boards, and I'm going to do something similar. But I'm not going to start that until probably next year, because I got to make the boards. But what I plan on doing is when I make the really large game board with like tons of spaces in them, I'm going to assign whips to each property, and they will likely, until I change my mind, they will stay on that property until they are completed, and then I'll replace it with a new one. And I'll have new starts on the board, on my big board as well. And I was talking with Alara today, and probably going to make like a separate like jail board. Like when you land in jail, there's actually like a round you have to go through on like for jail, and not just sit in there. And I'll have like my whips of shame in there. Like it'll be a whole thing. So plans may start changing next year. I don't know. For right now, I'm going to keep what I'm doing, but I got to hash out what I plan on doing with Monopoly. What I might do is have the big thing, like the big boards, and then whatever's not on the Monopoly game, I'll see how many's left that's not on the Monopoly game, and maybe I'll have those kind of set aside as a work on when I can in between the Monopoly pieces. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Still working all that out. I think my plans for 2025 are going to be focused more around the Monopoly board, the Monopoly game, and the rest of my plans will fit in around it. I will probably still keep the temperature stitching because I really like it. I'm still going to have Honeymoon Sunset. I'm probably still going to keep the Whip of Shame. So as of right now, I'm going to do the big Monopoly board. Y'all are going to die when you see it. I'm going to do the big Monopoly board, Honeymoon Sunset, Whip of Shame, temperature stitching, and then we'll have to see. Maybe I could do the ones that aren't on the Monopoly board. Maybe I could do those, like rotate through those on my temperature stitching. I don't know. We'll have to see. I got to see how it all plays out and where I end up putting stuff, because I have a lot of projects to pick from. I'm gonna have a lot of properties and a lot of projects to pick from. So I think that's all I have to say. I think this is going to be over 2 hours. I ate dinner, but I didn't eat a lot of dinner, so I'm probably going to find something to eat. Ooh, I have leftovers. Yes. While I edit this and add photos. If you guys have any questions, yeah, I think that's all I got to say. So I'm excited for this coming week. And I'm so happy and relieved that I got all that stitching done last week. I cannot believe it. I'll go over my total stitch counts too for like how much I got overall for the entire month of September. And after, now I stitched on 23 projects, but it's like one, you know, there was a few of them that were like 100 stitches or 200 stitches. So it's like, yeah, I did 23 pieces, but like half of them were like 100 stitches each. So, but anyway, hopefully I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I can get all this stitching done this week too. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you want to participate in my Monopoly game with me, pick a whip of your choice, pick one of my tokens, and do whatever the stitch count of that token requires. So if you wanted to be the car, then you would do 100 stitches, you would do 300 total for the property it landed on, and then it got doubles and landed on community chest, and 200 for that new start. And so you would do 300 total. If you were the thimble, you would do 200 stitches for purchasing that property, you know, and so on and so on. And then tag me on Instagram with what you worked on so I can see. Again, it's Jen the Caffeinated Crafter _ between all of the words, and I will have my name in the description box down below. Keep your fingers crossed I actually remember to do that stuff. Okay, so I think that's it. So take care, happy stitching, get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.